Yeah, if you read the title, you know what we're talking about. Some of you may know about this, a lot of you probably don't. This is something that really hasn't been reported as all that major, but it is something that needs spoken about in light of a couple different things that we've spoken about within the past couple of weeks, either here on this channel or within the community of heavy metal. So we all know Attila, we all know that they are kind of obnoxious, their lyrics are obnoxious, their shows are kind of obnoxious, and one of their members has taken to Twitter based off of some things that happened while they were on Warped Tour. Now, first of all, in spite of all of my reservations about Attila and the fact that I'm really not that large of an Attila fan, this is kind of a band that I would expect more on Mayhem than Warped Tour, to be perfectly blunt. And I know that that might insult a lot of the purebred metal fans that have watched the two previous videos that we've done here talking about the co-founder of Mayhem and the founder of Warped Tour's judgment about metal, but if anything really fits the philosophy that he's speaking about of the new generation and putting asses in the seats, Attila probably would do that. And that's just having to be real. You know, setting aside whether or not you like a band or not. It's just unfortunately a fact. But let's talk about what's happening here. So Attila's vocalist, who is Chris Franzak, took to his Twitter profile yesterday to express his feelings on another band currently touring with them on the Vans Warped Tour that recently called Attila Homophobes. Within his tweets, Franzak did not identify the band in question, though there have been theories about which band that this is. You can read what Franz tweeted in the excerpt below, and I will now read the tweets. OMFG, some of the bands on Warped are fucking cowards. I'm not going to tag anyone because the coward bands are small as fuck, but seriously, if your bitch-ass band is going to leave a sign at our merch calling us homophobes, then say it to my face. He would go on to say, bunch of fucking cowards, bunch of fucking nobodies, trying to throw shade to gain some fucking fame, fuck a pussy-ass coward, say shit to my fucking face. And again, I'm not a fucking bitch. If I have a problem with someone, I knock on their bus door and say it to their face, fucking boo-hoo ass bitches. Some colorful language in there, however, this isn't the first time that Attila's lyrics have gotten them into trouble. There are some others that were tweeted after that, including Lamal, keep dropping my name on stage, fucking coward. Warped is literally a big baby bitch fest this year. I missed ETID, Every Time I Die, and Terror and Stray. I'm assuming Stray is Stray from the Path. And I literally don't get it. The last 2 years of Warped were so fucking cool, and all the bands on it now are the biggest fucking crybabies. At least My Life Rules. I wish everyone was as happy as I am. Now, the two bands that are potentially involved in this in some way, aside from Attila, are Census Fail and The Wonder Years. I don't know much about The Wonder Years. I do know a little bit about Census Fail, but not a lot about their music. I don't know stances or anything about LGBT or whatever. I just know what I feel. I want to also read something that somebody posted that tagged this particular Twitter profile. It says, people like at Franzilla are the fucking best. He tells it how it is and isn't afraid of people getting offended. We need more people like him. Congratulations, you've met one of those people. How the fuck you doing? I'm the Cover Killer, and I'm here to tell you exactly what's on my mind and exactly what I feel. First thing that I really feel is that this whole entire thing is fucking retarded. It's really stupid, it's really dumb, and it's something that is made newsworthy not because of what happened at the merch table, but because of the way that it was kind of handled. This is something that, yeah, you can mention it on Twitter, but then just take care of things as you claim that you're going to do it. Beat on someone's bus door and talk it out or fight it out. Have that be the headline, not the little Twitter war. That doesn't prove jack and shit. As a great example, if I had a problem with, say, I don't know, my best friend or something like that, or even my worst enemy, somebody that lives or is within a radius of a mile of me, considering all of these bands, they're all on the same property during showtime, that would not be very difficult for me to go over there and say to them, listen, we need to have a little discussion. You need to sit down, I need to sit down, and by the end of it, there's a good chance one of us is going to be standing and the other one isn't. But again, those are all just words. That's the one thing. Actions supposedly speak louder than words in this philosophy of his. I don't see it, I don't get it, and this isn't all that edgy. Now, as far as the homophobic slurs in the lyricism is concerned, quite frankly, this is something where I feel that there's a little bit of oversensitivity going on, but at the same time, I think that there is a little bit of disrespect going on, and it's something that's happening from both sides. I remember whenever their last single came out, whenever the newest album was dropping, and there was a line there that says, "So who's the faggot now?" And I, of course, made a couple of comments based around that, claiming that it was not very classy. It was something that really was just aiming to be as edgy as possible and very, very forceful of that idea. But this is something where this word and this idea has kind of come up in a lot of other song lyrics of theirs, and it's meant to not always have that derogatory idea. It's very similar to what Eminem does with his lyrics and his rhymes with the word faggot, with regard to the fact that it's being more so used not in offense to the LGBT community, blah, 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 blah. The fact that I have to explain that just sort of proves the just the ridiculosity of this. This is something that's gone way too far, and if it's based simply off of the lyricism and off of the fact that some of those words are being used, and the real oversensitivity is actually on the bands like Census Fail and the Wonder Years that are being a little bit overly blah about this shit, and I would actually have to take Attila's side on that one. But taking to Twitter and making this big little... The Boohoo Fest that I see, the Boohoo Fest that is being represented to me is not Warped Tour. It's what is being tweeted by Mr. Attila here, Mr. Captain Chris Franzilla Attila here. And that's kind of the issue. That's what I see. That's what everyone is going to see. Whenever it comes to the Boohoo Bitch Fest or whatever, that's going to be behind closed doors, that's going to be this or that, and plus it's Warped Tour. There seems to be a lot of conflict whenever it comes to Warped Tour, whenever it comes to causes, this and that, yak and these and those, and everybody's different, and it's really kind of a different culture. A band like Attila that likes to party and have a good time and also be a little bit more risque, being a little bit more just in the moment and over the top is kind of something that would not exactly clash very well with some of the other groups that are on there that are a little bit more PC, that are a little bit more in the background. It's something where mutual respect should always kind of override and win out in the end, but polarizing personalities don't always work out and shit like this can happen. Plus, whenever you kind of immerse yourself in your own over-the-top, crazy fucking ego, that's whenever you start to lose sight of better ways to handle situations. I still don't like Attila. I still think that the music is atrocious, but I also know that this is something that could have been handled much differently, much better, and could have had a much better result. I think Attila fans are fine, even though I disagree with the choice, but that's not for me to judge or decide. You're still going to like the music, regardless to whether or not I shit all over the album or say that it is the golden turd. It's instead something where my opinion and your opinion may be different, but we still can find some common ground, perhaps in other things, and there's no hatred from me to you. There might be some hatred from you to me, but that's the thing. I really don't give a fuck. You can hate me all you want. The funny thing about this is the fact that I think this went as far as it did based around a sign that was on a merch table that was left by a band, and instigating something like that is a little childish. I actually agree a little bit with Attila on this one, that it's a childish way to do that. And now there's a lot of heckling that's going on during shows and sets and things like that, and apparently there was some literal mudslinging that occurred by some fans of the Wonder Years onto Attila, and this is something that can definitely grow very, very interesting as time moves on. But all that I will say is, think about Ozfest. Think about whenever eggs were thrown at Iron Maiden. And think about the things that have happened within the past couple of weeks. I say that because these are tours that do bank some money. especially Warped Tour, and this is something where a conflict like this actually could be crippling to it. And quite frankly, if I had Kevin Lyman as my fucking founder, I wouldn't want to be a part of the tour either. I would want to go and do my own thing. Hell, I'd rather be on Knotfest with Slipknot, to be perfectly blunt with you, than be part of one of these tours. Because at least there, it's probably more so for the music and the experience, rather than just for the big bucks and selling a couple cans of Rockstar Energy drink. Whoop-de-fucking-do. But in the end, this is a situation that could have easily been handled a little bit better by everybody involved, and quite frankly, at this point, I'm just going to be the person that says what I feel and says what I think. I think the three bands should honestly just get into a gay-ass looking little circle and fight it out like girls. That's all I have to say about that. This is something that, honestly, for all of the tough guy talk and all of the offense towards words and language and stuff like that, I just fucking fight it out. Or sit around and have a little sewing circle and sip on some Earl Grey tea and become friends and have a discussion and be, you know, be American about this and debate, you know, whatever. But taking it to Twitter is not necessary. Taking it to the merch booth, all of this is being done indirectly, and it's proven nothing. It's proven jack and shit. Now it's going to divide fan bases, which I don't really give two shits about that. Y'all can do what you want. But in reality, this is just something that's gone a little far, and it's kind of gone to the extreme. Yeah. Maybe if Kevin Lyman wants to truly be the generalized piece of shit that he is, he could just set up a gigantic wrestling ring, and it could be like Juggalo Championship Wrestling, and it could be Attila versus Senses Fail and the Wonder Years and any other band that might have a problem with them. And yeah, I wouldn't pay money to see that, just like I wouldn't pay money to see Juggalo Championship Wrestling, even if they have had Kevin Nash in the past. It's just ridiculous. Attila would get their asses kicked, by the way, mainly because there's more of the other guys. They might run through a couple more of them, but it also wouldn't be a taunting contest, because if it was a taunting contest and a lyricism contest, Attila would probably smoke them. It's really, really warm in here. I'm fumed at the fact that this is the type of shit that honestly kind of pervades on days like today. Can't we all just get a bong and smoke some reefer and get along? Seems like it'd be so much easier. Guess that's where I'm wrong. Guess we all can't get along. We have to disrespect and diss one another in every song. Fuck this is dumb.